Welcome back. In this video I lost foam cast 3 aluminium parts that I need to finish off the tabernacle, and I also make up a bow fitting for the anchor that will go on the end of the prod. First of all, I need to do some 3D modeling, which helps me see everything from different angles and take everything into consideration that I'll need to. This model, I've used a delta anchor, which I already had a 3D model for, but my ankle will be a Rockner. It's taking a bit of time to get back into the making of these polystyrene molds, and this is the third time I've tried to make this part. You can see in this video how I made this wire cutter, and it's been really good and it was cheap to build, but it really needs a temperature controller in it for finer parts like this, where you have to go quite fast, otherwise it overheats the polystyrene near the wire and makes the part smaller than it needs to be. I've got the wire laid over at an angle of 20 degrees to cut this slot in this faceplate. This is the beginning of the anchor roller that goes on the end of the prod, and these are the side cheek plates. This cylinder will go inside the prod tube. I use low temperature hot glue for all the joins. It seems to work really well and burns away when you pour the molten aluminium in there. I've coated it with a thin coating of plaster of Paris. It only needs one layer, I've found. Mostly I don't use green sand, but I had a bit left over from the previous castings, and I used it to pack this hole to make sure that nothing collapsed in there. It's probably an over precaution, but it gives me peace of mind. The green sand itself is made from ground up kitty litter and mixed with sand, and you just add a bit of moisture till it clumps nicely but still breaks apart. Vibrating the sand down as you go apparently is the best way to go, but I don't have any gear to do that with, so I just gently tamp it down and try not to tap the polystyrene with a stick. I needed roughly 4 kgs of aluminium to fill up the crucible, and usually I calculate the volume that I'll need, but I'm just guessing that 4 kgs in a full crucible should do it. For the whole project I've only used 2 mag wheels so far. I'd normally use the saber saw for doing this cutting, but my blades are pretty blunt, and I've got this bandsaw blade which needs replacing. It's a wood blade, but it cuts this aluminium so much faster than the saber saw. This is the best part, of course. All the wood offcuts are ready. I've got a wheelbarrow load full. Don't expect to use all of it, but it's there if I need it. The polystyrene molds are ready, set in sand, and all I've got to do is light the fire and get things cooking. And this is the last piece of aluminium I'm putting into the crucible. That makes it nearly full. I'm not sure how much dross is at the top, but I removed what looks like dross anyway, and make sure the aluminium's quite clean before I pour it. The best and most anticipated part has arrived 1 hour after starting the smelting.
think it went well.
I've got to wait 15 minutes now, and how's that for timing? It's just started, a shower's just come over and there's really grey sky up there. And you might know that if any water landing in molten aluminium is really bad. It turns into superheated steam. 15 minutes is up. What do you reckon, guys? You know I've had trouble in the past, but I have a feeling this went okay. Why the mask? Because the gases, and some of them are unburnt, are supposed to go into the sand, so it's pretty smelly and probably a bit toxic when you pull them out of the sand.
Oh, the big reveal. Oh, wow. There's a bit of cutting apart to do, but it looks like it went really well.
I put some green sand in between the in the difficult places, which would be hard to pack with loose sand. But it looks great. What about the other one?
Woohoo!
The bow fitting. I better not drop this. Oh yeah, could have been a bit hollow there. Maybe I didn't pack the sand in enough in there. It may have been better to do the this a little bit differently, so I could poke sand down in there better. As for this one, let's have a close look. You see the green sand there? I'll give it a water blast when it's cooled quite a bit further down. And then I can recover that green sand as well, but I'll have to let it cool down for that. So there's two parts here, and they look like they went really well. We won't really know till we have a look inside here, because these pieces here are just temporary. Those bits there, they just hold the sides in place. The same with these. They're pretty easy to cut off. If I can do it, you guys can do it too. Make your own parts. You could make spinnaker pole ends. This is like an anchor fitting for on the end of my bowsprit. Sits like that. Amazingly, I've still got more than half a wheelbarrow of firewood left. We've had some pretty serious rain recently, so even though it's a very hot summer, I was a little bit nervous about having a fire like this, but once I got started and saw the conditions, the grass is still wet all over the place. I had nothing to be worried about. Never mind the casting, this has proven to be the hardest part I've set myself up for here. I can't slide the saddle along hardly because this will hit this, and I'm nearly at the limit of my travel here. So I think I'll get there, but I've just got to machine it a bit at a time and move the tool around somehow to make this fit inside the prod. So this is intended to go in here. The line comes out of here from the bottom of the mast. It comes up on the inside, comes through that block, and then comes back to this organiser here, then goes up to the winch. And the third casting goes here. So the lines come off the bottom of the mast through this hole, round some sheaves, and then up to that other block that I just showed you. And like too many of my fits, it's a bit of a neat fit, and it's got to be opened up a little bit so that'll fit in there. So I'll wind up the video here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you next week.